Right, we're going to have a little bit of a dibble-dabble with the Discovery 3 stuff today. Quite some time back, the key, like locking, unlocking, really intermittent on it. It seems to have had no particular reason. Oh, look, there's my washing in the background there. It seems to have no particular reason as to whether when's it going to work, when's it not. It's just a bit annoying, so I decided I'd have a little search around for what might be causing it. And I read something where it said that some water can get into the passenger side footwell, and there's a wire there that's part of the central locking system, and that gets a bit of moisture, and just stops the locking working off the button. It seems a bit peculiar that just a little bit of water can cause only the central locking to stop working, but I thought I'd have a little look. And then recently, I sort of started noting that maybe actually when it had been a bit wet out, that it was that's when the locking stopped working. On a really dry sunny day it was working, so that's all right. But then recently it's just stopped working. It don't work at all. Yeah, it's got it's got to the point where the keys never work, and I'm doing it all manually, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, but you know, I can still lock the car. And then one day took my daughter to football, and she got out, and then the following day I picked her socks up that she'd just got changed and left them in the footwell with the passenger side, and I was soaking. I said, "Did you get these wet? Did you stand in a puddle?" She said, "No." So I checked in the footwell because I don't go on the passenger side. It's sodden, absolutely wet through. Then started reading through and found that actually, yeah, the drains that come from the sunroof, they come down, they go out the wing. I'm pointing at the car here, but you can't see it. They come out the wing and they make a mess. All the water gets inside and water gets in. So I'll cut now to a video I took before I recorded this bit, which shows you quite how much water's in there. So I'm pretty sure that the amount of water that's in there is not meant to be there. So it needs sorting anyway, regardless of the locking. If I've managed to sort that leak out and fix the central locking at the same time, I'll be well happy. While I'm here, I might also dabble with something else, but I'll turn the camera around now and show you. I'm going to cut to the bit I recorded yesterday, and then I'll come back to what I've done so far and what I'm doing next. Right, so the question is, how have I not got more electrical problems? Under here, there's a bit of water, no seat, there's some cables, there are some cables there, that's water. I'm pretty sure I've washed myself with less water. So what I've done so far is, obviously yesterday you saw the water, so the water is still all under there, soaking wet, under there at a minute. I've decided to take the chair out, one of the reasons being that taking it out to give it a damn good clean under there anyway, because it's hard to get to, also to get the carpet dry, because obviously the carpet and the sponge, it's literally soaking right through to here. I want to get it up as much as possible and get as much of the moisture out, because there are cables that run all the way through, and I want to give them the best chance of drying right out. The other thing is that on this seat, both front seats, these heated seats don't work, so that's going to be a bit of a faff trying to figure out which one. Obviously we've got, it's not as straightforward. I'm used to working on not working on, but when I've dabbled with like dodgy seat connectors, I've had dodgy seat connectors on Clio, that kind of thing, where you just get an airbag light because the seats are sort of not connecting properly. Well, obviously being a Land Rover, that's what you've got to play with. So somewhere on there should be the heated seats. I'm going to look for continuity, see if I can get continuity out of the plug first of all, then link it up to the chair and find out, well, where is the issue. I suspect it's in the wiring, which I've got to rectify, but yeah, we'll get on to that. Right, so I've taken the chair out, which was as simple as it's a bolt here, there's bits of plastic trim, there's 2 bolts that side and a bolt under there. All the bolts are in there. Then the chair just moved out of the way. It's still attached to the seat belt there, so I've not completely removed it. Then I come round to this side. I've taken off the air duct, just no reason why, that just literally pulls off. And the glove box will, the release thing there, that will then come down to let you get into where the glove box is. I took all the screws out from that bit to try and lift that sort of panel forward a bit more. Couldn't get it, it's attached under there, so I thought I'd give myself a bit of access room there. It didn't work. There's also that bit of air hose, so when the footwell vents come on, air comes out of here, so that needs to go back up in there. It's attached by a little noggin there. That's it, that's all that's holding that on, so that's come out. Then the trim panels, they literally just unclip. That's come off. Weather strips come off. So all of that is really quite straightforward stuff to do. The more difficult part to do, which you might find from the video, and I'll just leave it at this after that, because I think it should be quite straightforward, but I haven't even got that far yet, so I'll find out, is getting this out. So it's like a central control panel, or some other name for it, but it's a fuse box. To get it out, there's a plug here. That plug is this green one, and it is just a simple tab to release. Then you've got this blue one that comes in here, and that is you push the tabs in there. It's upside down compared to how it is in the car. Tabs, release, and then that comes out. You've got the same two of those above the glove blocks as well. So right up in there, you can make those two there. They're currently in the closed position. They're the same one where a big black lever undoes them, and then they come off of those two. The more tricky ones to get to are the ones at the back, and I didn't see any videos when I was looking to get them out. There's two here, obviously that's just a blank, that one. There's those two you've got to come out. On one video it says they're a pinch, similar to that green one. It's not, they're a lever on this car. To get those out, you need to, and potentially even to release those, I did that first anyway. To get them all off, there's the two, I think it's 10mm. Those are 10mm and it worked anyway, but my fingers are wet from that. So still soaking wet. So there's 10mm that go over that, that hold it in. Then you've got tabs at the top that hold it on. So that just literally comes off those two and slides down a little bit. Those then come off easy enough, but it's around the back it gets a bit more tricky. I've got a camera to try and look and see and trying to figure out what's going on. The best thing to do is just pull this relay out. When you pull that relay out, I'll try and do it one-handed. Pull the relay out meant that when that's in situ, you can actually rotate it around. So just rotating it round to the right slightly gave enough room to get this first one off, which was the red one. I'll show you where that is. So that's that red one there, or orangey colour red. And you can see it's another one of those lever clips to get out. And then on the back side, what's the green? I think it was red then green. Could be green then red. When they go back in, they'll obviously only go in one hole anyway. But same again, it's a lever on the top. I think actually the green one was the one that was nearest to you from this side when that is round. So it should be in situ. It's that position. Take the fuse or the relay out, rotate it round, and the green one comes off of there. You can rotate it around a little bit further, and then the red one comes off, and that's it. That's out. Now we've got to go up and look. Let's get my camera and have a look and see. Or not my camera, but me torch, because I can't see a thing. In here it's too dark. But up there somewhere will be that plug drain bung, which is probably going to be perished and I could need replacing, but I'll have a look. And there it is. We have found a slightly suspicious lump of pile of poopy. You got to wonder, I mean, there's some things are going to be like wear and tear, but like, how can this have possibly been designed to be a good long-standing idea? Surely there's a better way to have engineered something here that's going to actually last, or like the amount of stuff you got to get out of the way just to get all of that. I also wasn't very happy because when I was looking at it inside the car, it was quite hidden and you couldn't quite tell what was going on. So on closer inspection, you can see there's a split right there. And then when I just gave it a big old yank and pulled it out, then that is completely shagged. So that's dead. Yeah. I'll have to find some new ones. I think there's someone on eBay selling a set of 4 for 15 quid. Well, it's 20 quid, but then they gave a special discount to me because I'm super special. 15 quid for 4. So I'll probably order them and have to wait for them to turn up. But yeah, all in all, that appears to be a problem. I don't really know what else I can show you underneath, because it's behind. Where is it? Oh. You can see the black. Where is it? The black tube is coming down from. Oh, it's a nightmare. Let's get this pokey stick. So the black tube is coming down up there. Look, I'm really close to it. That's the end of the tube. That tube then attaches to the white union, and then that white union connects to that rubber bit. And most of that's hidden. You can just about make it out. It's hidden behind the wires, and I didn't want to move it, and so I got hold of it. But I thought, well, I'm not going to move them wires very easily, so I've just yanked it in. Unfortunately, I can't have done that plate taken out. That's got to be deed. So now we're on to drying it all out and waiting for my parts. Right, back on the Discovery. So last, I don't know, week or so, since I started doing this bit, we've had rubbish weather. The new bit of rubber for the drain thing arrived. I haven't taken a photo or video of fitting it because it's been rubbish weather, and I just wanted to get it fitted. I had at one point fitted a bit of garden hose to it to try and drain the plug away, because obviously it wasn't draining outside because the bit was broken. I didn't really do a lot more other than gather more water inside, so I put towels in just to make sure that all the water was getting absorbed. It is now dry. There's a bit of dampness on the carpet still, but I'm going to use obviously the car's heating and using it, which will finish drying that bit out. It seems that the leak's now all stopped. The rubber plug to fit it again is very simple to do. Not very simple, it's the same as the reverse. I found it as easy to fit the white piece onto the rubber drain, two wheels, rather than trying to fit it to the car. Put the white bit into the drain, put the drain into the arch lining piece, and then connected the hose to the top of it. It's very, very fiddly. I found it quite tight. I tried washing up liquid to get it to seal, and you've got to really make sure, obviously, get a good seal on the wing, so you don't get any water dripping back through. Good news, it's really, really tight. Bad news is, obviously, it was just a bit of a faff to get it in. I ended up taking a knife and just taking a very, very, very small amount of the material off to plug it, to push it through, because it was just resistant and it wouldn't go through. So that's in and sorted. Now I'm back to putting the car back together again. On here, I've had a bit of a hoover around, not much. I ended up taking the DVD player out for the sat-nav and lifted all the carpet back up here. I ended up raising this bunch of cables just up and out of the way to make sure that there was plenty of space for them to dry. There is this one connection here. I don't know what it is. I think it's possibly a speaker connection. I've given it some contact cleaner and then just put the bit of blue plastic back on it. That's the only one I can see that's exposed. Everything else is covered up. I'm just hoping that with the amount of water that was in here, drying it out means that any problems that were here, or even if there was a problem with that one, it's eradicated. But I think it's serviceable if I need to get back into it. The reason I've not rewired it or anything is the amount of cable length on that cable. It goes into two. the amount isn't a very long cable, so I don't want to do it. If I make a mistake, I've then end up with like not enough cable left, or enough wire left. So I thought, well, I'd rather leave it, see what I've got. Contact cleaner all over the earth cables as well, and then we're going back in again. So simply putting it back in the same as I took it off. I've got the fuse box down there, so I think again just follow what I did when I took it out. Go in behind first, flip it round, taking that relay out, and then we'll see what we get on with. Right, wrapping up on the watery problem. I'll bring it around. I've finished putting it all back together again. So the last one, I think I said that I was just going to put it back in the same way as I took it out, which is, yeah, it was quite straightforward, quite self-explanatory. You just plug back in the way you took it out. Make sure you take some photos or even use the video to make sure you know which bits you're putting back in where. It all went back in, no problem at all. Plugged it all on, and I've got an airbag warning light. I didn't actually do any sort of testing on the video, which I probably should have done, but I was getting a bit knocked off by that point. But now I'll flip it around, hold on. So now look, we've got your normal first stage going on. But if you go with a start, look at that. Just a seatbelt on the handbrake light. I mean, even the handbrake works, so it's showing off. There you go, look at that. So what I've found, and you might find this as well if you do yours, when I put it all back together again, I'd somehow managed to take off down where the bonnet release lever is. Near there is a grey plug, and it isn't that, like some of the plugs that you've got on there, there's like a combination of different plugs, like some with levers, some with tabs, some with whatever. It's just tabs, this one, and I knocked it by accident and realised after I plugged my diagnostics machine in, looked for all the fault codes, cleared all the airbag fault codes, realised that once I'd knocked it by accident, this grey plug was actually a little bit looser. So I clicked it back in again, and away it went. My airbag lights disappeared. And yeah, everything now, I mean, the car is working mechanically, is absolutely bang on. Nothing wrong with it at all. That's how you fix your footwell. I have still yet to find out. Once I'd done that, after a few days, the central locking on the key was working. It would lock, unlock every single time, wonderful. And then a few days after it started working, it just stopped again. So I'm yet to find out quite why the key wasn't working. I had read somewhere that one of the wires that was in down on that footwell, in that same footwell, doesn't like it when it's wet. So the fact that it's all now dry, and I've replaced the plug and it's definitely dry down there, and then it started working, made me get quite excited. So then it stopped working again. Don't know why. One thing I will do is take the piece of plastic off again, take the handle off again, and just see if the grey plug has slipped at all, or if there's anything else in there that maybe a cable tie is to hold that plug nice and tight. But if anyone's got any other suggestions as to why the key fob has just completely stopped working, I'm at a bit of a loss. I'm going to try pairing them and see if the pairing of them again, whether that makes a difference. But yeah, anyone else got any ideas about how to make the keys lock with the button again, that'd be much appreciated, because at the moment I'm going in the passenger side, manually locking it, and then having to manually unlock it with a key through the little hole on the passenger side, because you can't do it from the driver's. Right, that's it. That's how to change the what's it down there. Get your footwell nice and dry, which is well, it's much better now. Happy days.